can't hardly hear you. Get back to the mic or you're not projecting like I do.
No one projects like you do.
How?
Oh, okay. All coax is not built the same. And how much money do you put into your coax? Well, a lot of people go, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. Well, you get what you pay for. This is Messi and Palomi. This is about an 18-foot piece of coax, but it's triple shielded. It has, if you haven't seen Messi and Palomi, I'll pass this around. Both of these are the same, but this is called, believe it or not, this is called the POTA Special. It's triple shielded. It has excellent connectors that they just, but anyway, and this stuff is really good. This is not, it's still 50 ohm coax, but it's a little bit cheaper. This I paid $75 for. This is only like $43. So I'll pass these around, you can look at the coax. I brought my IC705 for those of you that have never seen one. Lights, I bought these at the Base Exchange. These are pretty cool. But they have solar charging, so you can hang them up during the day, they'll charge, and at night you have power. And because they light up here, and then pass the light down to these opaque things, it's pretty slick, and the LEDs are on the bottom, so these are pretty cool. Solar. How many of you do solar around?
Here, fight over this.
Solar panels used to be really, really expensive. They've come down in price a little bit, if you can believe that. But this is a very compact solar panel. It's I think it's 8 panels, but they all fold up, and then your controller box is here. And the solar controller that I use is from Buddy Pole. Because it seems to work better than any other solar controller I've had, and I've had like 3 or 4 of them. But the Buddy Pole solar controller is very compact.
Yeah.
I have cables. As you can see, they use blue and black and yellow and black for their cables, but when you connect to radios or whatever, then they use the standard Aries red and black. So I have cables, so I know when I get my blue and black one that goes to the battery, and I know that the solar panel gets the black and yellow. So I don't have to worry about which one's which. They're already pre-made that, or I pre-made them that. So let's see, we covered antennas.
So just on the subject of solar and power, I've got cool solar stuff thanks to buying it from the estate sale. But the thing is with sideband, even though I'm using my 7300 and 100 watts, no longer than I stay out there to get a activation, my battery, in fact, I looked Monday when I left Texoma, and I had used like 1.3 amp hours is all to get 17, 18 contacts. So, why bother to put the solar up if I've got plenty of power with me? Now, I'll admit, you digital folks are doing a lot higher rate of draw, right? Talk about that. constantly transmitting more?
No more than 50%.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But it's key down time.
I mean, my radio
What's
keys
your
down for
QRP
15
do?
seconds at a whack, and then it's stops for 15, and then it starts 15 more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I do, but like I said, I can do FT8 all day long
But your
with that
QRP
705.
Yeah.
And running, the computer and all that on the 12-volt battery, I can do it all day long. And when I say all day long, I'm talking probably 6-8 hours.
I haven't finished the project yet. I'm not very much on projects, but I found some deals that, like some of the RC car people use,
Yeah.
that you could plug into like your 18-volt Ryobi batteries or your 40 volts. And then, you know, it's just like a 3D printed, but then you would have to do step it down.
And I have one of those where I use a buck converter to step it down, but.
Yeah. I need to get my project finished.
Yeah. QRP, okay, here's a 705. It's a 5-10 watt radio. Here's is a 5-watt radio. And it's a USDX, it's called a micro DSDX. Puts out 5 watts. It will do 8 bands. Then coupled with, here's an ATU 10-watt antenna tuner. Shows you all the stuff on the front. And here is an SWR power meter. And then if you're gonna do digital, this is a digirig. How many of you heard of a digirig? Okay, this is a digirig. Now this is an older version. I'm using a much newer version. Did I bring it? Probably not. But I'm using a newer version, it's even smaller than that. Okay? And it already has the cables attached to it. So they work very well. Digirig works very well. So.
There's all kinds of QRP rigs around.
Oh, I know.
Perry and I and the guy in Norman, we've got the, you know, the TR40, the Pentec radios.
Perry has the 35, right?
Right, you know, I've got the 45. It was kind of, it looked cool.
When did you talk to Perry last?
2-3 days ago, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, you know, Kyle has a mountain topper.
Yeah,
You know, there's all kinds of
and
ones
it's
out there.
KX3.
Right, but he doesn't really use that, you know.
Any questions?
Anywhere from cheap to.
Yes. Arnie?
Yes. How many QRP people are building their own rigs? Could be a kit or not.
Quite a few.
That Pentex, they do cute some kits on those. I had mine pre-built. The 45, he kind of says, you know, that's a little more complex with other stuff.
Dave and I go every year to Branson, to the 4 States QRP conference, which is called OzarkCon. And there are usually about 100 people there. Or more. And most of them build their own stuff from the 4 States QRP people.
Thank you.
But there are a lot of them, like notably QRP labs, that have a huge array of kits.
Yes.
And also you can buy some of them pre-built, of course for more money. But I mean, you can find single, multi-mode, multi-band radios as tiny as a card, deck of cards, and full 5 watts out. And you know, they're inexpensive. They're probably under $100 for most of them.
And the cool thing about 4 States, I'll get to you in a second. Cool thing about 4 States QRP at OzarkCon is they give away about over 100 prizes for a weekend. And meter QRP radio, CW, and a 20 meter radio, and I don't know what.
Wow, sorry, I can't even remember.
Yeah,
what it
they're
was.
just, it's a really cool thing. So
Almost
if you want-
everybody gets a prize.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and it's every year in April. But yes, there's a lot of people who build their own QRP stuff.
That's great.
Any more questions I can answer on QRP? Yes, sir.
Well, QRP Labs, I would highly recommend. I just got done building a QMX from QRP Labs, and it took me a while, but they're like the documentation they have, all the diagrams and like the guides on it, far and above anything else I've ever seen as far as detail.
And the QRP stuff that the kids derive from, November Mike Zero Sierra is the one he's an electrical engineer, and he's the one who designs a lot of the circuits and all that stuff, so.
That's 4-stage QRP, not
Yes.
QRP Labs.
No, the 4-stage QRP. But if you just go out to 4-stage QRP's website, there's a lot of stuff out there. In addition to the QRP lab stuff, there's a crock full of stuff out there.
Now, are those kind of not all bands, like, 705 is, everything?
There are some, but most of it's single band stuff.
Yeah, cause like the TR-45 is like 5 bands.
Now your QMX, how many bands will it do?
5, I think it's
Yeah.
80.
There are
80
some that will do
20.
that. So,
Well, I was just letting people know
Yeah.
that a lot of those are not all bands though.
Yeah, I think that the QCX Mini is a single band. You can get it in any band of your choice. I think it's slightly cheaper, a little bit smaller.
What's yours do? What's the other one do?
5 bands.
Well,
5
what-
bands.
Which bands?
80, 60, 40, 20, and I guess
70.
probably 30 as well. I
And
got-
it's multi-mode, not just CW.
Yeah, it's CW and digital right now, and it's really cool. The USB-C on it is the sound card interface as well as a serial port, so you can do digital with one USB-C cable.
Yep.
And it's really impressive. I haven't done any digital yet because I just got my general, but I set up WSJTX and was out there just listening, and it was a breeze to set up. It was really cool.
The Fintex are just CW.
Yes.
And Hans, the guy who built it, I think he just posted an update about getting single sideband working on it. So hopefully here in probably a couple months, we'll see a firmware update for single sideband as well.
Any other questions on QRP or POTA? After the meeting, you can come over and look at all this stuff. So, thank you.
Put a list together with prices and send it out if you would. Like that monitor. Well, I'm just,
Okay, I'll do that.
where you could just kind of take a look at it and say, oh, that's what that was, and, instead of having to try to remember or something like that.
We're retired, but we don't have that much time.